about the blinders that are put on horses?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. There are two reasons that these horses wear those blinders. Number one, because it increases their focus and they have a very, very clear vision that, okay, this is the straight path that I need to follow. And the second reason is that it helps them gain a lot of trust and they give their life in the hands of their pillion. Pillion is the person sitting on the horse rider basically, right? Now, however, these two things are extremely important and these are the pros of wearing those blinders, but there's definitely another side to it which no one really talks about. Imagine your vision being covered from the sides and that's all you get to see. The entire straight line, that path, that okay, this is where I need to walk. Great, amazing for focus. But what about the opportunities and what about all those unseen dimensions that you're missing out on because you have those blinders on? In the case of a horse, the horse would never have an idea about who's going to attack them from the sides. What's going to happen if they're running in a forest? Are the trees kind of going to, the branches come and hit them? Is there, maybe if they're in urban cities, is a car going to come and crash into them? They have no idea. They've given their entire life in the hands of the pillion. They've put in all their trust on the pillion that yes, this person is going to take care of my destiny. Fortunately, God has given humans the power to be able to judge their own paths, to be able to not give their reins into the hands of another person, or for that matter, in the hands of society. Having said that, humans need to get rid of those blinders at the right time. I'm not saying that you should not have focus. You must have focus. But there is just the right time to get those blinders off. In the case of humans, those blinders are either put by the society, in your eyes, or a lot of time by family, and most of the times by you yourselves. You just understand that, okay, this is the path. I want to crack an IIT exam, I want to get through, I want to get a good seat in a good college. Once I have the seat, my path is clear. I know a good job, a great package, marriage, children, deaths. That is how we plan our lives. But then, what are the unseen dimensions? It's your education that can really be the foundation and the start of something brilliant. Not everyone sitting in this room wants the same kind of life, right? You've got through the college, you want a good job, you want a good married life, you want to be settled, you want children, and then eventually my life has ended. Like that's the path that we normally walk to, right? Now I'll tell you a little bit about myself and I'll tell you why I feel that taking off those blinders at the right time is very important. So by education and by education qualification, I am a designer. I've done communication design from NIFT Bangalore, and as fate might have it, and the way I also thought of my life when I got through the college was, oh great, I've got through a design college. My path is to become a graphic designer, maybe join an ad agency, climb up the ladder, become the creative director, become a creative lead. Success, perfect. That's a perfect life I want. Linear, very focused, very monotonous, and every designer dreams of doing that. Then comes that time in your life where you realize, what beyond this? Is this all I need? Is this all I want? I got a good job, I have the money in my bank, now what? Maybe if you're enterprising enough, you might just like, let me just start up on my own, I'll make my own studio, I'll make my own agency, I'll work for myself. That's the freedom I give myself. But is that enough? This is the time when I was out of college. I started working. I worked with ad agencies. I worked with the best ad agencies possible in the country, Ogilvy, Leo Burnett. And that's when I realized that, okay, everyone here is in a rat race. Everyone's trying to climb up the ladder, which is in the shape of a pyramid. Only 2 people get to the top. Is this really worth fighting for? I love design. I want to continue doing design. But more than loving design, good visuals, good advertising, I wanted to understand the why behind it. Why is it that there are certain products in the market that people resonate with more? Why is it there are certain colors, certain textures, certain designs that you get attracted to, and a lot of them that don't make the cut? The why is what kind of created that curiosity. and I wanted to dwell deeper into design, into psychology, into understanding that what next, what is beyond just a graphic designer. That's when we thought that, okay, Innovist is the path to take. I want to create an ecosystem of science, trust, storytelling, building an ecosystem where I'm not just a designer that I'm making a beautiful visual. I want to understand and I want to communicate why I have created this and why this is something that works for you. Why do you like this more than anyone else? Why do you like this more than anything else available in the market? That was the birth of Innovist and the birth of me without my barriers. So I think it's very important for everyone sitting in this room to look at those unseen dimensions, take off your blinders at the right time, try to understand that why, if you're doing law, why can't a lawyer be a storyteller of justice? Why do you just have a lawyer standing in a court doing litigation? There are a lot of multi-dimensional options out there that you can explore. If you're an engineer, you don't need to just be a part of a software company, walk up, get the money, live a 9-to-5 life, enjoy a Saturday, Sunday to yourself. That's really not the meaning and purpose of life. You want to be able to contribute. You want to be able to create value, derive value out of every day that you're alive. And I think this comes with one or two things. The main thing is passion. If you're sitting here and you love what you're doing, you should also be able to implement that in your day-to-day life, right? I'm sure you must have seen Three Idiots. Three Idiots, what does Amir Khan say? That keep doing your hard work and success will follow. Similarly, keep living your life with passion, each day with passion, and that will only happen if you look at the other dimensions of life. If you're an engineering student, that does not mean that your path is set. Your world is not one-dimensional. There are a lot of things that you can do apart from just getting into a software company, leading into higher packages, walking up the ladder, giving your 9-to-5 with a monotonous life, and then Saturday is what you enjoy to yourself. You can enjoy every day of the week and still make the most of your life. Now, talking a little bit about the aspect of Innovist and why we've been able to do this. I'm a designer. Of course, there were a lot of questions that, oh, can a graphic designer end up making a business that can really turn heads, can add value to the country in any way? There were failures. It wasn't easy. Every day is difficult, but you just have to be persistent. You have to really want to do it to be able to get where you are. And with Innovist today, we started this company about 7 years ago. I don't think that everything about Innovist is about me. That's not true. I am one of the major forces to create the entire brand with a soul. But at the end of the day, when you don't have certain talents, that's when you get the right kind of people to help you, right? So dimensional in terms of your thought and dimensional in terms of understanding your weaknesses and being able to get those missing pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to bring them together to create something of value and beautiful is what we need to work on. Small thing about Innovist is that we're 3 founders and I take care of everything creative, branding, marketing, and I am very bad with finance. I don't understand finance. I don't understand formulations. I don't make products. But Innovist is one of the only companies which have bestsellers across categories. You go to an Amazon, you look at maybe the roll-on or a deodorant category, our product is #1. You go to the shampoo category, our dandruff shampoo is #1 on Amazon. They're all bestsellers. How does that happen? Because we get the right kind of talent to work with us. So my co-founder is actually a scientist who is the mind behind all these products. So getting those jigsaw puzzles one by one and being able to create value and creating an ecosystem that is appreciated in the long run is what you need to do. Your skill is never enough and your skill is never nothing. Remember that, because it's always going to be a group of people who will help you get to where you want to get. But your contribution is not just a drop in the ocean. It is significant, and that is the dimension you need to understand about your own mind and about your own self. If you're passionate, you're definitely going to get there and you're going to create something of value. That is definitely there. So now talking a bit about how to break through these barriers, right? The society does create a lot of restrictions on you. Your parents might create restrictions. You mentally might create these restrictions to yourself that I cannot go beyond this. You know, my career is a box. This is the only path I have. That is not true. The world has a lot of opportunity for you with a lot of this AI coming in, a lot of your exposure to social media. Everything is there to help you understand and make it easier for you to identify those opportunities. There is a lot of destiny and perseverance that plays a role in this, but the perseverance of being able to look for that problem and being able to solve it in your creative way is right in front of you. It is within you. You just need to look for that spark, and you need to be open to the idea of being unconventional. It's okay to fail, it's okay to fall, it's okay to get up. Time is the only limited resource that you have. It's the only limited dimension in your life. Don't let it go to waste. Fail sooner, success will come sooner. No lie. I mean, there's literally no story that goes without failure. I failed. I started my, I had a startup right outside college. I graduated in 2015, 2016, I had a startup and we failed miserably. I lost, and of course, fresh out of college, 21-year-old, trying to do something on their own, lost about 2.5 lakhs. And at that point in time, 2.5 lakhs felt like, oh my God, I'm down, I'm totally doomed. How could I do this to my father? I could not, you know, it was a shocker that came to me. That was the time when I wanted to kill my dreams and be like, no, maybe I'm not ready for entrepreneurship. This is not what I want to do. It is not in my blood. I can't do it. I decided to pick up a job. The job that I picked up was the kinds where I had to wear all hats and act like an entrepreneur. I was the first employee in that company. There's a startup called the Man Company. So I became the first employee there, built the team from scratch, got the company acquired in 2.5 years. And after 2.5 years, the founder of the Man Company and I, we decided that, you know, maybe it's time for us to start something of our own. And that was the birth of Innovist. So life will bring you back to your purpose if your eye is set on the goal. And I was always very clear that yes, entrepreneurship is what I want to do. So I somehow found my way back to it. I'm not saying that entrepreneurship is the only spark in life and that is what is the dimension you need to, you know, try out or work towards. But you need to follow your heart and walk on the dimension that you personally feel fulfilled. It's very important to wake up every morning with the purpose that yes, I can do this. This is what my life is about, and I love every minute of my breathing time. You cannot be in that space where you feel, oh, 9 to 5 is good enough. Oh, I hate my job, but I'm doing it because I get the salary. I'm doing this because my family wanted me to do this. I'm doing this because there's literally no other option that I see outside my course. There is always an option. There is always a happier path. It's just that it's because it's a quieter path. Not a lot of people take it. Be the one, take the plunge. Take that path because life is only going to be beautiful beyond that. So yeah, I think this is my main message. It's very important that you understand that your life or your career is not boxed. It is multi-dimensional, just that you need to identify those dimensions. Those dimensions are within you. It is inside you, in your mind, in your heart. All you need to do is look for a way to walk on it. It doesn't require money, it doesn't require opportunity, it doesn't require anything. All it requires for you is to be bold enough, persistent enough to be able to walk that path. It's, at the end of the day, it's about a brave path, that is all. Do that and you'll be golden. So yeah, that's that. I'd like to conclude with that.